So I know some of you may have experienced it yourself, especially being in your early 20s or high school. And honestly, you could say lots of things for life in general. Just doing the best you can and still coming in last or not getting not getting the results you expected. And that's okay. That's why I want to finish off with, you know, people tend to view the negative and assume that they fail. Not everyone thinks that, but I know I'm under the category where when I mess up on one little thing, I'm like, oh, damn, it's all over. How do I recover from this? I'm somebody who myself always think of, I need to do it by this time or it's over. You know, it's not a really good mindset, but as long as you could reflect and think about, what's realistic and like what's realistic versus what you expect. That's where I was kind of tongue tied on. And what this means to me, it's more of, you know, going out there trying your best, giving it 110%, but you can still come in last. It is what it is. It doesn't mean the end of the world. That's what that truly means to me. Now, I'm not going to spoil everything from my first episode, but the reason why this topic is so important to me, especially right now, and probably for a lot of other people too, is I talked about my housing and everything I needed to do and me feeling however I felt, but I'm mainly want to focus on me doing everything I needed to do and still not expecting the results. Like I did everything what I feel was right. I did what I was told. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Everything. Followed the rules. But living in a situation with this house, it's like, damn, is this really it? Is this like my life starting? Is this like the whole now life is really starting? It's honestly, this shit sucks. Excuse my language. I know I'm trying not to cuss like just nonstop, but it's like I got this place. I didn't expect a studio apartment, and it was like, damn, this is it. You may even notice I'm kind of shiny a little bit if you're viewing on video. This place is fucking hot. I just had my fan like blowing 90 because this place doesn't have AC. I know it's all a starting point. I know it's fine. That's how I kind of came and like accepted it. Like this is just a starting point. Be proud that I made it this far, and don't view it as as negative. Cause this place, I was just burning up like probably 30 minutes ago, drinking like a gallon of water, just like trying not to burn up in this damn house. But it was just that mindset of just me thinking like I did everything. I saved up, I paid this and that, and I'm paying this much for this. That doesn't sound right, but that's just how it is. And with my topic of today, how like expecting not expecting the outcome that you wanted. Sometimes you got to roll with the punches with it. You wanted to take somebody home, for example. I'm gonna give my own examples on this, but just for a random example, like just to get it more clear out there, is like you're driving somebody home and GPS says 30 minutes, but you're stuck in rush hour and 30 minutes turn into an hour. You're trying to be nice and polite and you know kind of just roll with the punches. You may have heard that. If you haven't, it's kind of a thing where you hear after, I guess, what, taking a tough loss or something, My motto, and you may have seen it, is whatever happens, happens. That's my lingo for rolling with the punches. And with that, it's for me, whatever happens, happens. I resonate with it a lot. It's more of do whatever you can, try your best, go with the flow, whatever happens, happens. And now, I probably could have skipped that example of that random car situation because I'm about to dive more into my examples and why this topic resonates with me more. It's funny to me a little bit just because I could have probably avoided that, but we keep it rolling. So with this, I'm not gonna throw him under the bus, but I will say the uh, the figure, my father, me and him, we have like a up and down relationship. Nothing never of hatred towards each other. It was more just absence and false promises, probably from both ends. I'm not gonna blame it all on him. Growing up, he was in and out, and that's perfectly fine. My take on parents is I don't knock them down unless they like kind of bring you down with them. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I know I can't speak for myself, but I've seen it, and people talk about their parents and their situation where they don't have a good relationship with their parents at all. I know I can't relate. I know I'm not trying to compare parents, but some people have it worse and they can't even have a conversation with their parents. But to me, I'm blessed and thankful that I can, and I'm glad that they're both still alive and I could talk to them now. I would say, yeah, talk to them now more frequently because before it was non existent. I cannot talk to my mom, my father, and recently, um, getting back in connections with my father that's been good, and we've been texting each other more, calling each other more. I know sometimes that guilt eats at him because he missed the majority of my life. And, growing up, you expected your dad to be there, teach you sports and all the father figure stuff, that they have in these movies. It is funny that sometimes these movies, we kind of relate it to our life because I know at least I do. Sometimes I question is that how it's supposed to be? Or sometimes not even in movies. Sometimes you just see it in other people. But majority you'll see it in movies like the Happy Family. Some funny Disney moment I thought of is you see a 5-star cooked breakfast meal and the Disney kid is I'm gonna be late to school and grabs the apple out of everything. That type of thing. But with my father, seeing how, growing up without him, I never disowned him and never forgot about him. Of course, sometimes I expected more like just reassurance that I'm here, just not doing well, son. But I'm glad that, he's still here. That's what this topic kind of resonates with me and why I think it's important to not get too upset about the stuff that, that's supposed to happen, and even with following dreams. I know I even asked a couple other people about this. I Google searched. I even asked people on those IG stories when somebody ask I don't know, that just sounded weird to me for a second, but on the Instagram stories when people say ask me something, well, somebody from me who I've been following and they kind of like was in the advice giving mood, like ask me anything. So I asked about actually I could get it for you guys. Well, I lied. I can't get it for you guys. I'm so sorry for that. I thought I screenshotted it. I thought I wrote it down somewhere. It probably is somewhere in my like my notes or whatever. But from what I remember, I asked the Instagram story of the content creator about what do you do when you feel exhausted from like chasing your dreams? Because sometimes I do get exhausted by doing this. Not obviously this, but like doing content creation in general. And it is exhausting about just following your dreams. So it's like it gets to that headspace of, do I enjoy doing this? You know? And I know I do, but sometimes the things that I need to do takes out so much time during my day, and it doesn't get enjoyable sometimes, where it gets to the point where it's like, okay, I like to play games. I want to make gaming videos. There's this boss that, oh, I could go in there, I'm gonna beat him up, expecting, oh, I'm gonna just go in there and fight the boss, be done, say some funny highlights, post it, edit it, bam. But that's what I expected. See, I'm tying into it with the topic. I expected that, but the boss is a 5-star General Thanos figure, and I'm stuck on him. But I see everyone else not struggling, and I'm like, yo, why can't I beat this boss? And now it's not getting enjoyable. Now I'm frustrated. Now I'm yelling at who knows what, cussing out random things like "fuck that dog." It's just randomly, you know, stuff like that could happen, and that's where it gets to, shit gets exhausting. Even with dreams, sometimes how we have this layout, and not even just for me, but for everybody, they'll have this layout in their minds. With minds, it's like YouTube, content creation, a lot of other stuff. And I had a roadmap of I do this, I record this when it drops, try to be the first one who posts it, get as much views as possible. Sometimes it's been instances or scenarios where that game I bought doesn't work out. If some of you seen it, I'll probably like 1% or even zero, because I know I deleted it. There was this game, Silent Hill F. It seemed really good from the trailers I seen. Something I'm like, oh, Silent Hill? That's a game where I hear a lot of good stuff about. Even got nominated for Game of the Year. I believe Silent Hill 2. And I say Silent Hill F. And it was like, oh, okay. I could get in tune with that, and that'll be cool. I try to play it on stream. I never fall asleep like snoring playing the game. It was just puzzles. I didn't like the combat system. Mind you, the game is like about $70. That's just how gaming is nowadays. And it's like, damn, $70 down the drain for a game I didn't even enjoy, and I can't refund it. You do have to be careful with that, but sometimes I'm like, I take that risk. It's something that I was invested in, and it just didn't work out, those results. Now, this is something that I know might be a topic where I can't talk too much about, because I'm not gonna talk like I got to that point, but I was a little experienced. But say for school and sports, what I'm getting at is being an athlete, or wherever in that field. I could give examples about other people, but I don't know their whole story, so I'm just gonna stick with me. Well, being an athlete, it's a very competitive thing, and if you know, doing sports and getting to that certain level, usually everyone will have that humble moment. If you know what that humble moment is, it'll be a situation where you're going against somebody and you just get overpowered, or like you lose in a way where it's like, damn, I thought we could win, but we didn't. It'll be a humble moment. I'll give a quick little flashback. Me in football, I know it was like a play. This is way, way back, like middle school era. The middle school era, you could see that this guy, he had impact like that on me. He knocked me down flat on my ass, and I'm wondering, yo, does anybody see this? So it was like a pass play. All I remember is, I don't know if it was defense or offense. Regardless, it was this kid who I know I was running towards the play. He boom knocked me down. I'm looking at him like, damn. Right, it was cool, but it's it's whatever. I get back up. Guess what? Boom! He knocks me down again. Like, he overpowered me. I'm like, yo. And you'll never guess what? I get up again. Boom! I'm like looking. All I can see is him just towering over me, like he was some god or something. And he just started holding me. The play eventually, of course, once we hear the whistle, but that moment never left my head. No coach said nothing. It's like I was in a whole world, me and him, and he just overpowered me. It was like, damn. That wasn't my moment. I stopped sports, trust me. But it was like, he was stronger, better, whatever than me. I don't know if he blocked me in the back, whatever it was. All I know, he just put me on my ass. I don't remember what he looks like. All I know, he just towered over me. Can't even make it up, man. But back to the main topic. Oh snap! Yeah, it's just good funny memories. But I know with sports, the expectation, especially nowadays. Actually, who even know nowadays? That's how I'm trying to, I'm walking on eggshells talking about this because I don't really know. But I know with sports and getting into that next level, the athlete, college 5-star scholarship level, you gotta perform in high school, get good grades, and just constantly work. It's damn near your job, you know. That's where I know that gets tiring. I know for me it did. I know I was doing football, working out, and my living situation, I was already far away from the school, so doing all that, that's what I really stopped. I couldn't keep up with it. That lifestyle, I don't think I enjoyed this lifestyle. Like just living in Narnia, trying to perform for this, nah, I couldn't. Especially when I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. That's how I operate. When I don't enjoy what I'm doing, and I know it's not just exhaustion. Nowadays, I'm trying to deal with that because I'm trying to figure out, am I exhausted? Do I like this exhausted? But back on topic, but with that football lifestyle, I couldn't keep up with it. So that's why I gotta take a break and be done with it. And eventually, I don't want to go back. So that's how that went. But with sports, you expect to, get to that next level. And I know there's a million stories about how people keep trying to that next level. And I know there's other leagues where people perform in that, which is like not all bad. Because shit, the NFL, the NBA, NHL, boxing, whatever sport it is, hey, you get there. That's already a pat on the back. But sometimes people don't even view it as good because you get an NBA, say you're a bench player for 5 years, people not gonna view that as nice. People are gonna look at the LeBron James, the Cooper Flags, #1 overalls. It's tough. I can't even speak on it because, like I said, I never made it to that level. But just having an expectation of I gotta do this, I gotta do that. It's fine if it doesn't happen. And honestly, all you really could do about it is keep moving forward and try again. That's really, I think, as simple as that. Easier said than done. Because I'm not just here to complain and just give stories after stories. I'm just giving advice and what I think about the situation. Because it is tough. Like, it's no joke. And honestly, I still am processing how to deal with it. It's something that is always was on my mind. And I'm glad I made it past that age. I'll be real vulnerable here. I am fine. But there was a time where I was considering that I'm not gonna make it past 25. I know, very dark turn, like, well, where did that come from? Just thinking about the expectations and the plans that we have for ourselves, especially when going for the result, giving our 200%, not even 100%, doing everything is in our power, making it our lifestyle. That's how I was with YouTube at first, because that was the only thing that was on my mind. Getting YouTube famous, and I don't know what other of my other goals was, but I remember back then, who knows, maybe it's an archive of me talking about it, one of my old videos. I made so many, so who knows. But I know, looking back on it, I remember telling myself that by the age of 25, I want this, that, this, and done. And I'm way past 25, and did I succeed in any of that? Not at all. I might not have did a single thing, but I learned a lot, experienced a lot, and I kept going. I didn't let it stop me. I didn't break down and end it all. Glad I'm here. That's how serious that it was getting to. I was really pushing myself and having that 25 age on the pedestal. And then it did not get no better, especially with how the internet started viewing things like being younger is better. And then the jokes kicked in about pushing 30, pushing 40, which is fine. I could roll with the punches. You see, I used it there as examples. I could roll with the punches. I'm fine. I know it's jokes. I know sometimes those jokes do get to you because how much more or how much can you truly take those jokes constantly over and over and over again? And then you got to keep rolling with the punches. Hey, it's annoying, but it's the truth at the same time. But in seriousness, though, I know I'm still learning to deal with it. It's something that I know I'm gonna preach and practice with. Everyone's gonna have their different tactics with it. I know with me, I'm just gonna have the mindset of never give up, keep moving forward. And if it takes 20 years, it takes 20 years. If it takes 10 years, it takes 10 years. And shit, reality, this whole YouTube kind of dream thing I have, I'm already at 10 years. Well, shit, who knows what's gonna happen next? Shit, look at me right now. I'm doing a damn podcast, which I didn't mind. That wasn't even a part of the plan. I was just like, I kind of want to do a podcast and see how this goes. And I think it's gonna be cool, even if I don't get no like good value out of it. I know I'll still enjoy what I did. Now I'm gonna end that topics right there, but this ties in with the same topic. This is something else that I was considering the title of this video, or I was gonna focus around a lot about it. But what's been on my mind is the whole statement of nice guys finish last. And there's no, it's not just talking about relationships. I'm not saying I'm the nice guy and I'm asking if that's true or not. Right now, how I'm feeling, I'm more of defense of, for me in that statement of the nice guys finish last, I'm more of a, at least they finish. I know the term of the whole being stomped over in relationships, being the cuck or letting the bad boy win, however you want to view it. But the nice guy finished last. It had me in reflection mode for a good minute about, is that really true? Because I'd rather be myself than pretend to be somebody I'm not. With the whole nice guy finished last, I really was challenging it and questioning, like, what do people really mean when they say nice guys usually finish last? And I don't want to pretend that I'm doing it for, I'm doing, you know, like I don't want to pretend that I'm doing something that I don't like to do or that doesn't feel right to me. Like holding the door for somebody. Most of the time it's whatever. But sometimes I just do it just because I want to. Not just to be nice. I just like, oh, here, I got you. That type of thing. And I know it probably will get controversial about, oh, if you do it, then you're the type to let people stomp on you. And you're not a winner because you're not a go-getter, or you let this and that happen to you. But I've been challenging myself to really think about it, and I always come to the conclusion like, that's fine. I'ma still at least finish, you know. Like for, I know it's gonna tie in with the women a lot, because it probably started with that, about how the guy complained that I was a nice guy. I did everything right. I bought her flowers. I took care of her. And she still chose John from down the street, you know? And in my eyes, I don't view it as a bad thing. I viewed it as you're showing your true colors. You were doing something that made you you. Now, I'm not saying go do that. And I'm not saying I'm the one to do that. That's love bombing the shit out of somebody. Let's be real. But, you know, that's how I'm viewing that. Now, if some of you have some questions about that, or like, what does that even mean to me? Because I may left unanswered questions about, why do I view that? Why was I viewing that? It was just something that I had in mind. Like, do you need to sometimes be harsh to get the things you want? When do I put my foot down? And I know I am the one who can't put my foot down. It is like a hard balance. And sometimes I wonder, where's that line drawn? Where am I being a nice guy because I want to be? So yeah, with this, it's a topic that I'm still gonna talk about, and who knows, I may bring it back up in the future, because you could tell I can prepare with topics and questions, which I'm more proud of myself. Get a pat on my back. Appreciate that. Whoever said congratulations or something. But I really am challenging and thinking a lot about these type of scenarios and situations. I really don't know how to feel about the nice guys finish last. Finish last. I know relationship wise, I could clearly talk about it. Like, if I want to be a lover boy, if that's who I am in relationships, then I'm that lover boy. If I like to take care of my woman, hey, I'm gonna find somebody who I want to take care of. That type of thing. But I know tying in with real life and, oh, I let somebody cut in front of me in a line and they got the last product of something. And it's like, oh, well, I guess I'll get something else, but I really wanted that. That's where I am questioning about, is it fine if nice guys finish last? You know, that's where I'm really trying to question and see if I am who I say I am in a way. So I know I talked about mostly everything that I wanted to. My resolution for all this of doing everything that you possibly can, going 110%, still getting out last place, expecting you to win, even though you came fully prepared. I'm still in the resolution of that's fine. You know, you can reflect with yourself, but don't stay too deep in your head. As an overthinker myself, I know how easy it could get. I know I overthink a lot and reflect on stuff that doesn't need that much of my time or energy. But still, I think we all could just say that it's okay when it doesn't happen. Just keep moving forward. Everything will be all right. And yeah, so I guess that's episode 2. If you guys do have any questions, please let me know in the comments. That may even give me more longer episodes on these topics that I do have. I'm going to keep writing down questions and scenarios myself. I may even start implementing videos and me talking about it because it's something I want to enjoy doing more and more and more and challenge myself to discover who I am more and more, you know? So I appreciate everybody watching. This was the Midnight Reset. I was your host, DatBoiiJonta. I appreciate everybody who listened tonight. Take good care of yourself. Make sure you get some rest. And I'll see you guys in the next episode.